After teasing the double Byakugan Kyuubi mode 7 years ago, Kishimoto finally revealed it as the official transformation of Himawari. Even though it was originally planned for Boruto, the idea of providing both the offsprings of Naruto equal limelight was more deserving of the canon. That's why the young lord has surpassed most of the characters in the most iconic way possible, and his younger sister has been privileged with the exceptional powers of Naruto. Before going over to the main cliffhanger which has left the whole fandom shocked, let's take a look at from where it all began. It was the beginning of Kawaki's crossing the limits phase when Daemon felt some huge power ball of intensity roaming around the village. It was Boruto's sister Himawari, and upon coming face to face, he tried to hit her with a punch, assuming that she would dodge it. But to his surprise, Himawari knew nothing about fighting back then, which left Daemon astonished about the mysterious intensity that he felt from her. This happened in chapter 77, and exactly 11 chapters later, it was revealed that Himawari has somehow inherited the Biju chakra. The same chakra that the Shinjus were mistaking as Naruto's actually belongs to his daughter. Now according to Jura, Himawari is a Jinchuriki who's holding a Biju inside of her, or more possibly she has the chakra of a Biju inside. This means the Shinjus have no idea about the death of Kurama and Naruto's fate. They were assuming this 10-tailed chakra to be the key to finding Naruto. However, in the most unexpected turn of events, Himawari was possessing this power all this time. This mega reveal has not only improved the character relevance of Naruto's daughter to a huge degree, but it has also given us a solid hint for why the Otsutsuki's might be afraid of the Shinjus for a very solid reason. I will catch up to that in a moment, but let's first get into how Himawari's Kurama connection has brought a big fat L to the credibility of Momoshiki. The whole plot of Boruto is driven by the challenges of destiny and how it sometimes feels impossible to undo what's done. Boruto was at a stage where he literally lost everything, but a small amount of hope was still there in his heart, which led to an optimistic butterfly effect in his favor. For those of you who don't know, butterfly effect is the idea that small changes can have big consequences. The mere flapping of a butterfly's wing could eventually lead to a major event like a tornado. Similarly, a small amount of hope in a person's heart can completely change the predestined path of his life. But then there are entities like Momoshiki in the Narutoverse who think their Otsutsuki privilege gives them the power to rule over the inferior race. He tried to lead Boruto astray by telling him deadly prophecies and how there is no way out for him in the future. But even though Boruto literally lost everything, he never submitted himself to Momoshiki as an aftermath, which completely spoiled his plans. Now with the reveal of Himawari's Kurama connection, another prophecy of Momoshiki has failed miserably. Upon looking at Naruto's fate, he said that there is no way he would be able to pass on Kurama's power to the next generation. Now you could say that his subject was Boruto, and Kurama indeed wasn't able to transfer his power to him. But he made a bold claim about Naruto not being able to succeed his power, and with the events of chapter 88, this claim has officially been debunked, meaning that Momoshiki's prophecy aren't absolute. They are bound to flaws and faults, which degrades his credibility as a fortune teller. Some visual foreshadowing can be found in the 3rd chapter cover, where Himawari literally poses like Naruto's first Kyuubi chakra cloak. Furthermore, there is this artwork of Kishimoto, which features Boruto with the dual Byakugan and Kyuubi chakra mode. We know Hima already has the dual Byakugan, and since all the dots are connecting so well, it seems like this form will be unveiled as her new transformation very soon. But so far only the Shinjus know about this massive power which is hidden inside of her. So could they possibly guide her to master it perfectly? Before you guys say that's not possible because they are the main bad guys and it won't make sense for them to help Himawari, hear me out. I think the Shinjus will be kind to their own kind for various reasons. Their race has been facing cruelty from a very long time. They could even be fearing extinction at this point. They may think twice before harming a Jinchuriki. After all, they hold the chakra of their own kith and kin. This could be one of the reasons for the Shinju to take Himawari under their wing. They must be curious about how she has acquired such power, which is why leaving her inside Konoha will only lead to them having more questions about their existence. On top of that, since Naruto has been sealed for good, there is no one in the shinobi world who could train Himawari in utilizing the 10-tails power, so an unexpected union between her and Jura is not out of question. However, there is one point which completely falsifies these possibilities and could endanger the life of Naruto Naruto's daughter. As we know, Jura's instincts were telling him to devour Naruto, and it could be because of his Ten Tails power. Not to mention, at the end of the war arc, Naruto had acquired the chakra of all the Bijus, which apparently still resides within him. By considering the case of Hidari, it's clear that Divine Tree transformation provides the Shinju with all the powers and abilities of the host human being. Additionally, they also get the wood style for obvious reasons, as the Ten Tails is literally a tree type of species, so it must have different nature energies as well. I think apart from the powers and battle experience, Shinju would eat a human or Otsutsuki, their evolved form could somehow unlock the knowledge of their victim, which is why Jura is so fond of Naruto. He wants to know the complete history of Ten Tails on the planet, and Naruto is the only one who has the chakra of all the Bijus. However, now that he identifies the chakra of Himawari, it seems like he would either ignore her and continue the Naruto hunt, or they could kidnap her to figure out the true essence of her Ten Tails power. Now the two vital points that could determine the next move of Jura both include the insights of the overpowered cyborg Daemon. Till now we are assuming Himawari has inherited Kurama's chakra, or it has somehow found its way into her body through some mysterious means. But what if it's not the chakra of Kurama, rather the power of the Ten Tails that Himawari's lucky genes have gifted her? As I said earlier, Naruto harnessed the power of all the tail beasts, and since he married Hinata, the Byakugan princess, their children got the affinity to enjoy both Otsutsuki as well as Ten Tails privilege. While Boruto possessed the power of Otsutsuki's, which is how he became Momoshiki's vessel as well as the most broken prodigy, Himawari seems to have inherited the affinity to become compatible with the Ten Tails power, making her an exceptional powerhouse as well. In a nutshell, Boruto and Himawari are the embodiments of Otsutsuki and Ten Tails power respectively. This is why Daemon was so afraid of the intensity that she released. Why would he be afraid of the Nine Tails chakra even after possessing the power of an Otsutsuki god? I believe the Ten Tails could be the ultimate threat to Otsutsukis as well as their gods, and I will explain that in a moment. This increased the chances of Shinju's taking Himawari with them since she preserves the massive power of their species. The second insight of Daemon, which hints at Jura ignoring the Ten Tails essence of Himawari, can be found in his only conversation with Kawaki so far. He said to him that the Shinju invasion can brutally spoil his plans, since everyone would be left thinking why they are searching for Naruto who's already dead. Assuming this was a potential foreshadowing, maybe the Shinjus will continue the Naruto hunt, ignoring Himawari and her secret power. However, there is even a chance for Kawaki's luck to play out. Assuming something like that happens and Boruto doesn't return to the village, then Kawaki will have no choice but to unleash all his power to save Himawari. He can't let the vase be broken again and get looked down upon by Boruto by not being able to save his sister. So I think just to protect Himawari, Kawaki would go all out against Jura, and since Sarada is also on her way to join the battle, it will be exciting to see how well the Leaf Shinobis can perform against the Ishiki level threat. So Himawari being a setup for Kawaki's W moment is a good way to continue the story. In the end, he might be saved by Boruto or Daemon, but at least we will be able to see how far he can go. Furthermore, a full-fledged battle with Kawaki can persuade the duo to get him under their wing in order to unlock his true potential. Even in chapter 8, Jura informs him that he won't be killing him for some time, which means he could have some plans for Kawaki in his mind. Not to mention, in the original Naruto, the reason that fired up Sasuke to elevate his game was because his rival made a bigger hole in the water tank with his Rasengan. Kawaki also got struck into the water tank after getting hit by Jura, symbolically meaning it's the time for him to get serious and stronger. Now how he is going to get more powerful is a theory for another time. Let's get back to Himawari and her hidden power. The question the whole community is asking right now revolves around the origin of her QB power. How in the world did Himawari unlock this feat, that too after the death of the Nine Tails? It can be assumed that she was born with it, but why didn't any character like Momoshiki or Ishiki identify her intensity before? Well, I believe the reason Daemon was able to sense this power is the Otsutsuki god's prowess that he has been modified with. His abilities are more than reflecting the opponent's moves, and he can literally perceive the true nature of something like an omnipresent entity. This quality was also reflected in chapter 3 when he was able to figure out the real essence of Uzuhiko and how it works. This is why he must be able to catch on things that ordinary humans and Otsutsukis can't even fathom. As for the living Ten Tails, they are literally the source of all the Otsutsuki powers, which is how they were able to identify Senringan as well. On top of that, it's pretty sensible for them to sense the chakra of someone from their own kind. So now that we know why no one else in the story could catch a glimpse of what's inside Himawari, let's try to understand why and how she got this power at first place. I read a bizarre take somewhere which said Naruto must have conceived Himawari in Kurama mode, which is how she got the Kyuubi chakra. Not saying it might be the case, but it was really funny and somewhat made sense. However, one of the most plausible reasons for Himawari's beast power was brought by Caliph Zeus under my community post. I found his take really sensible as well as the most interesting. I will also cover the other theories that you guys have dropped, so stay tuned. According to Caliph, the whole notion of Boruto and Himawari getting different powers is a repetition of history. Just like how Hogoromo's powers were divided between his two sons, the offsprings of Naruto have also obtained different innate powers. Himawari has apparently gotten the prowess of all her female predecessors, while Boruto has secured the powers of the male ones. The daughter of Naruto must have privileged Kurama's special chakra, which gives her affinity for a Biju, the purest Byakugan, which is made up of Hamura and Hogoromo's chakra, which explains how she knocked out Naruto, followed by all the nine-tailed beast chakra composition, which is essentially Kaguya's essence. This theory also explains how Himawari being an Otsutsuki reincarnate is not far from reality, and it could be that she will become an individual who would surpass an Otsutsuki in terms of potential. Now whether it would be fair or not is a story for another time. Further, Caliph says that her training with Inoshika Cho also has a significance. She must have learned to properly control her chakra by training with them, and she could create different avatars of her chakra cloak as well. The special chakra that she inherits from Kushina could also help her in creating such avatars, as well as manifesting different binding techniques like the Shadow Jutsu. Moreover, this Ten Tails chakra further enhanced the possibility of her golden Byakugan awakening. Himawari's theme in the story could be represented by gold, which aligns with the meaning of her name Sunflower. A golden Byakugan would perfectly illustrate the symbolism of the sun in Himawari's legacy. Boruto, on the other hand, has inherited the powers of his male predecessors like Rasengan, Flying Thunder God, and potentially the Sage Mode as well. You can watch this video of mine after this one to understand how Boruto is actively using the Sage Mode in a brand new way. Caliph concludes by saying the Jogan might be a result of all of Boruto's chakra combined to mutate the Byakugan genes. This includes Hogoromo and Hamura's chakra combined with a fraction of all the nine-tailed beast chakra. While I think the Himawari part of the theory makes a lot of sense, as well as their connection to the male and female predecessors, the Jogan's origin can't be linked to Boruto's heredity. Rather, it must be something that his Otsutsuki prowess has granted him. The whole point of Jogan is to take Boruto beyond the levels of normal Otsutsukis, and by the looks of it, Shinjus are already above those beings. So the only way to completely deal with them is a power above the celestial clan that's only utilized by deities. I think Boruto has somehow acquired the DNA of Shibai Otsutsuki, but that's a theory for another time, so subscribe to not miss that. The second theory that caught my eye from the comments was from Eric. He said that Himawari's new power-up could be Baryon mode without the death factor. Some more depth was added to this theory by its DCX, who basically said that Himawari could be possessing a new tail beast or Kurama's reincarnate. Well, there are already theories of Boruto being a reincarnation of Shibai Otsutsuki, and there are a number of hints which indicate the same, so I won't be surprised if Himawari was chosen by the soul of Kurama to be the next Jinchuriki. From the beginning of the story, tail beasts were considered immortal since they were literally manifestations of chakra which cannot be killed, as the chakra would regenerate itself over a long period of time. This is why they were usually sealed inside Jinchurikis, since there was literally no way to destroy their whole chakra. However, when it comes to the death of Kurama, the Baryon mode didn't suck on his chakra, rather it directly consumed his life force, which cannot be regenerated. So the death of Naruto's lifelong best friend was a direct consequence of Baryon mode's extreme energy consumption. It wasn't a typical depletion of chakra, but a burning of life force that Kurama couldn't recover from. This means the death of the Nine Tails was one of its kind, and just because we are just getting introduced to the detailed plot of the Ten Tails, chances are there will be a way out for their possible reincarnations, since we literally have opened doors for this plot point to expand. So what if, just like there have been reincarnations in the Narutoverse over the ages, the most popular one being the Ashura-Indra conflict, Kurama might have also found a way to continue his resolve by residing inside another prodigy of the Uzumaki lineage. I believe the whole reason for Kishimoto to introduce the Shinjus and expand on the plot of the Ten Tails was to set up the unexpected return of the Kyuubi. As said by Kakashi, the next generation will always surpass the previous one, and this has become a norm in the shinobi world. There needed to be some way for Himawari to surpass her parents, and with the possible reincarnation reincarnation of Kurama, it seems like both the children of Naruto are going to be the most broken individuals of this generation. So how exactly would Kurama's reincarnation play out? And does this entity who is present inside Himawari holds the memories of his previous life? Well, looking at how reincarnations have went down from the beginning of the story, it seems like this creature inside Himawari will be a Kyuubi but not Kurama himself. He must be a Ninetales who wants to fulfill his original purpose that was left incomplete by his original counterpart. Kurama fulfilled his purpose of saving the shinobi world with his life, but just cause he somehow knew something more deadly was down the lane, he got reincarnated inside Himawari to fulfill his unfulfilled purpose. The shinobi world is at the most fragile stage right now, with only a handful of fighters being strong enough to face off the current threats. These new enemies are also made from the Ten Tails, which I think is not a coincidence at all. The Kyuubi has returned to help Himawari fight his own race and save the shinobi world yet another time. So now that we know the strong desire of Kurama was what led to his ultimate reincarnation, could it be possible that Hima will unlock the Baryon mode? Well, this transformation is like a nuclear fusion which takes life force out of both the Jinchuriki as well as the Biju. In order for Himawari to avoid the time limit factor, she will need to prevent the life force of her Biju from getting extinguished, which I think is very unlikely to happen. Even though the Kyuubi has been reborn inside her, he is still a Biju and not a new kind of entity, which means his life force would still get consumed when he performs such techniques. Moreover, the unlimited spamming of the Baryon mode would have made Himawari indefinitely overpowered. The point here is that even though the offsprings of Naruto are the main highlight of the story, there needs to be a cap on their power, otherwise the story would take the staggering Dragon Ball approach, which is not very nice considering how the duo will easily overshadow all the other characters. This reminds me of a comment from Orochimaru PR, who says that Hagoromo had to show up to make Naruto and Sasuke god level, Momoshiki is responsible for making Boruto god level, and if Himawari or Sarada become gods out of nowhere, it would be really unfair to the character building of the OGs. I definitely agree with this point that there must be some sort of struggle written in the fate of Himawari and Sarada before they reach a whole new level. One point that I have been mentioning in almost every Sarada video is the possibility of her training under Hidari to get more stronger. If not that, then Hidari could somehow unlock the memories of Sasuke, which would compel him to help Sarada. Something similar could be the case with Himawari, since the Shinjus know the best about their race, which makes them the perfect guide for a potential Jinchuriki. Getting trained by the Shinjus would give both the girls a jackpot of power-ups, and they would catch up to the levels of Kawaki and Boruto in no time. But narratively speaking, it's not that likely for the Shinjus to divert their minds from their instinctive goals. A quote from the Avatar says that there will always be someone who gets things the easy way, but it's usually the bad guys in a story. And speaking of the important characters like Sarada and Himawari, their journey to become more powerful must have more variables than a straightforward switch of emotions expressed by the enemy. Another big reason for Shinjus to have pure evil schemes has something to do with their villainous aura. They could be more powerful than the Otsutsuki's, and here is why I think so. The Ten Tails never had self-awareness or intellect of their own, which is why the Otsutsuki's always took their advantage. They possess the whole chakra of a certain planet, and upon becoming a chakra tree, the Otsutsuki's are treated with their whole life energy, chakra, and power of the individuals who reside on that globe in the form of a chakra fruit. If only the Ten Tails were Shinjus, Otsutsuki's must have never dared to mess with them. A great example can be found in Daemon's reaction to Himawari's Ten Tails intensity. Even the power of an Otsutsuki god couldn't save Daemon from shivering by the essence of the Jubi's energy. On top of that, the whole divine tree cultivation takes place when a Ten Tails devours the Otsutsuki. This means their species must have evolved to hunt and prey on these creatures ruthlessly, and the Shinjus would be doing this job perfectly to seek revenge. All in all, the self-aware Ten Tails shouldn't be underestimated. I think the way the story has crafted the image of the Shinjus, it's safe to assume that Daemon is about to face his first ever defeat in the story. He had promised to save Aida from Otsutsuki's as if they were a piece of cake for him. But if he ends up defeated by the Ten Tails warriors, it will be clear that they are more powerful than the Otsutsuki clan. This puts Himawari in the most plausible position to defeat them, since she is the only one who possesses the power of this species. So if she turns out to be a Kaguya level warrior with the power of the Ten Tails, I'm certain she will be the one who will put an end to the Shinju conflict. We will be discussing more topics like if Himawari will actually scale to Kaguya level very soon, so subscribe to not miss them. Before concluding, here is a solid analysis from chapter 77 about Himawari and the rebirth of Kyuubi. I think this scene when Daemon sends the intensity City and the sequence of Kawaki sealing Naruto have simultaneously taken place. This means the very first time the new Kyuubi released his energy from Himawari was when her parents were sent to another dimension. What if this means the reincarnation only occurred inside Himawari when it was clear that there is no hope left for the shinobi world? The reason behind the sealing of Naruto leading to the birth of Kurama's reincarnate has something to do with how the Shinjus operate. They apparently wanted to approach Naruto to know the truth about the Ten Tails. However, just because Naruto was sealed, there wasn't any way for them to find the answers that they were seeking, which could have led to them wreaking havoc. If Naruto was present, he could have used the Talk no Jutsu to make them change their minds, but just because he's gone, Kyuubi had to return to drive their attention to his daughter, who could potentially make peace with them. It really makes sense cause if Himawari had this power from the beginning, then Daemon would have sensed it when he first entered the village. There is nothing random in Kishimoto's plots. That's why I believe Naruto getting sealed and Daemon sensing the power at the same time is not a coincidence at all. So all in all, it has taken Kurama 22 chapters to reincarnate and another 11 to get official confirmation from the Shinjus. I will be back with more interesting theories very soon. Till then, you can check out these videos to find out more about Boruto's Sage powers and Borusara's allied abilities. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.